Hello everyone, welcome to English Flow. We make you speak to the world. We all of us have countless reasons in order to avoid speaking in English. Whenever there are situations to speak or to express our ideas in English, we want to give some excuses and escape from that place actually. So how can we actually fix this challenge? One thing is very clear, that we don't have a partner to speak in English, or we don't have an environment where we can practice speaking in English every single day. We don't have a mentor who can actually rectify our mistakes, or he can provide some tricks and tips with which we can develop ourselves. We have so many thoughts, because of which a learning thirst is getting blocked. So when you have this complaint mindset, a mindset will say that you don't have anyone, so absolutely you cannot learn to speak in English. Let's imagine it like when we were learning to speak mother tongue, such as Tamil, Malayalam or Kannada. From the very childhood days onwards, we've been speaking in Malayalam or Tamil. Now imagine, how did you start speaking? First you listen to them. Whatever they were speaking, you listen to them. So it's called language immersion. Whatever they spoke, whatever they taught you, you were able to listen, you were able to observe, you were doing everything. So end of the day, what happened? Everything was stored in your subconscious mind. So whenever you were in need of some information, you were automatically getting from your brain. Now the same thing applies in English as well. If you can speak in your mother tongue effortlessly, it's because 15 to 20 years you've been speaking in your mother tongue at home, be it with your parents, be it with your friends. Wherever you go, you choose to speak in your mother tongue. So the same thing should be applied. The same amount of effort should be applied for learning English as well. And how this technique of language immersion will help you in terms of learning English. For example, these many days you were trying to think in Tamil or Malayalam whenever you want to express something. Now deliberately try to think in English. For example, I want to express something, some situation or some message I want to deliver it. So deliberately I have to think in English. So how would this sentence be? Because when you compare the grammar rules in your mother tongue to English, it is entirely different. Sentence structuring, grammar rules, everything is entirely different. So you have to consciously make a decision that you are going to think only in English, which means you are taking the support of your mother tongue. There is nothing wrong. I'm not asking you that you have to translate everything from your mother tongue to English. It's a very difficult methodology actually. So whenever you are asked to speak in a meeting or in a group of people, when they are asked to when you are asked to make a presentation, you cannot say it will take so much of time for me that I have to translate everything from my mother tongue to English. You should be prepared, right? And how do you make that preparation? That's what we are going to discuss in this video. For example, we all of us have devices and we all of us have got browsers. Make use of it. Whenever you have an opportunity at your hand, as much as possible you should utilize it. And one more thing is, we are listening to videos on YouTube, we are good at doing some research, we do all these things. But how are we doing with 100%? No, we are just, grasping everything from the surface level. We are not actually reaching to the depth level. The next time, whenever you're learning something, make sure that if you learn something for the first time, and learn it to the core. So that the next time you should not go back and see to it that for the second time like, oh, did I actually learn it? That should not be your mindset. You should be able to say it. Yes, of course, I learned it. I remember it. And I'm damn sure that, I didn't forget it. This should be your mindset whenever you want to remind yourself or recollect the information from your brain. And at the same time, a simple example. Whenever you want to learn swimming, can you just stand next to the wall and say that, yeah, I've watched videos and I've been speaking about it with my friend. My friend gave me some suggestions. So literally I can swim. But when pushed into the water, practically that is when you will understand, oh, this is how I should move my hands. This is how I should move my legs. So when you're put into the situation of practically, you'll understand. This is where you are supposed to invest your energy and drain your energy. Many a times we know the techniques, but we don't know how to apply the technique. We lack with application. One of the most important thing that we have to do is like application and implementation towards learning. Whenever you learn something, just apply it. For example, you learned a vocabulary for today, like 4 to 5 vocabularies. Just make use of that vocabulary in your day-to-day conversation. Whenever you're trying to express any idea, please utilize that vocabulary. Otherwise, what's the point of just learning it? For the sake of learning, don't learn it. Having a purpose, yes, I've learned this vocabulary, I can definitely utilize it in one or the other ways, then yeah, it's gonna yield you some benefit. Without just having any benefit out of it, and what is the point of just accumulating all those vocabularies, and after some days you're gonna forget it. This is the actual truth. So at home you can learn by yourself. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter that you need someone to speak in English, you can learn by yourself. Every single day, start using the technology in a efficient way actually. So whenever you're going through a browser, just start searching like any stories or any novels, or you can go through Kindle app, like different ways that you can actually learn. Only we are blocking ourselves. Yes, of course, I cannot learn to speak in English. We are always aiming at someone who are fluent in English. Please do not do that. Start from the base level. It's okay, fine. Starting from scratch and base is not something that is wrong. You can start from scratch and you can reach the heights. Maybe it will take some time. It's okay. What's wrong with it? Anyways, it's your time, you know it, you know what's your capacity, you know what's your caliber. So at that very point, you don't have to just give all this damn thinking. Just do what's possible with you. And at the same time, do not always look for the help from others. You have to help yourself. You have to actually create one environment. You have to make that exposure. You have to expose yourself. And how would you expose yourself? Whenever you are watching any content on YouTube, probably like any cooking video or stand-up comedies, instead of watching it in Tamil, watch it in English. Just switch it over to English. Whatever you are trying to think in Tamil, switch it over to think in English. Slowly you can just develop yourself. The actual truth is, small changes can bring out huge differences. Let's believe in the power of small things. We actually ignore small things. Okay, what can this small thing do? Like, can it bring some differences? We all of us have this least thinking about small things. Let's not have that thinking. A little by little, let's develop. It's not that today you invest your energy of like 90% and you get exhausted, and tomorrow you don't have any energy, any more point to learn English. That brings out hatredness. So do not just lose heart, do not just give up. You have so many options around you. Only thing is like, take time to realize what actually works for you, where should you actually invest your time. And if you really want to speak fluently in English, it's all your responsibility, it's all your duty. People can say, people can speak thousands of things, but the practice is in your hands. The tricks and techniques can be told by others, but it's about your thirst. If you want to learn speaking in English, ultimately you have to get into the well. When you get into the well, only you will understand whether you have to float in the surface, or how should you just utilize your strategy to float onto this surface. Only when you do practically you will understand. It's not about just theoretically you can learn everything. And I think so this video is going to be really helpful to you all. See you all in my next video. Until then, this is Sonia signing off from you all. Bye bye. Take care, guys.